Earth just had its hottest July, by a long shot, NASA and NOAA say.
Here's a summary of the article.
Like many companies, we use cookies and other tracking technologies on the services, including HTTP cookies, HTML5 and Flash local storage, Flash cookies, web beacons, GIFs, embedded scripts, e-tags, cache browsers, and software development kits. Strictly necessary cookies. These cookies are required for service functionality, including for system administration, security and fraud prevention, and to enable any purchasing capabilities. Personalization cookies. These cookies enable us to provide certain features, such as determining if you are a first-time visitor, capping message frequency, remembering choices you have made, and assist you with logging in after registration. Social media cookies. These cookies are set by social media platforms on the services to enable you to share content with your friends and networks. Cookie management. Depending on where you live, you may be able to adjust your cookie preferences at any time via the Cookie Settings link in the footer of relevant websites. As some cookie management solutions also rely on cookies, please adjust your browser cookie settings carefully, following the relevant instructions below. Consequences of deactivation of cookies. If you disable or remove cookies, some parts of the services may not function properly.
This post received a score of 11,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I believe it. In my US city we hadn't had a 100th day in 8 years. We had 13 in July.
Almost 3 months of straight 100-degree days at noon. Most of the grass it burnt away unless it is under a tree. We need to stop buying plastic junk and start repairing what we have. Who am I kidding? We are heading for another Cretaceous period and nothing will stop it.
Milton, Florida in the Panhandle. 99 today with a 132 heat index. I got a screenshot of it at 129. How are we supposed to live here? If we had a hurricane there would be mass casualties from the power loss alone.
Thank you. We all are dealing with climate change, imagining best case scenarios. If the weather outside will kill you, then a power outage becomes a mass casualty event.
When air conditioning becomes a life support system, it means the environment isn't habitable for humans anymore.
Florida's population was minuscule prior to the invention of air conditioning. Anyone with health issues, especially the elderly, is probably just a few days away from death in Florida and the rest of the Sunbelt for that matter without power. It's a massive risk considering roughly 20% of the population is morbidly obese. 3 days without air conditioning and 100 weather with high humidity could be biblical. Imagine the Miami metro area losing 20% to heat deaths after a hurricane. That's roughly 1 million people.
And we expect more dangerous hurricanes, if not more hurricanes, because of climate change.
And rising sea levels. And collapse of jet streams. Arable land moving causing huge farm disruptions. Wet bulb temperatures above human survivability. Increased flooding, tornadoes, etc. etc. Any one problem costs $1 trillion. All of them together is $100 trillion, meaning hundreds of millions are going to die because we don't have that money to spend.
The lake I grew up near used to freeze every winter. Thick ice fishing huts all over. Families would drive their truck onto the lake and have winter picnics and beer. Now there's rarely any ice at all, not even a thin top crust. I've argued climate change with my neighbors, and this is the one thing that gets through to them. They dismiss articles like this post because it's summer and summer is hot, but they all remember those winters from their childhood.
In the Midwest, I've been casually pointing out the lack of insects. Usually when driving at highway speeds, it doesn't take long for your grill and windshield to be covered. This year the bugs are just gone. A handful of fireflies, a bunch of flies, but almost nothing else. That's something that everyone around here will notice if you point it out. I'm hoping they make the connection on their own, but if you mention climate change, the walls come up and all brain functions stop.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.